Does everything feel hopeless right now? Does it feel like everything is crashing down around you? Are your fears and worries heightened at the moment? And does it feel like this energy has come out of nowhere? This is what we call a spiritual depression or dark night of the soul. It may feel like an existential crisis, but what it is a transition from your old reality into your new one. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing with the dark night of the soul. It comes out of nowhere, and it comes right before your life is about to change. And this is the thing, for me personally, like, I've gone through many dark nights of the soul, and I've seen with this many people, I've had my dark night of the soul, as if like we only have one. If you've only had one dark night of the soul, well, I don't think that's even possible, because we're healing so much. A dark night of the soul is the opportunity to purge everything, like everything, all of it all at once. It's horrendous. It's this deep spiritual depression. It does feel like an existential crisis. It feels like everything is going wrong, so like we often get this throughout our spiritual journey, our awakening journey. We don't understand what it is. When I first had my first dark night of the soul, I didn't know what it was, but when I did the research on it, I knew exactly that's what I was going through. But I've gone through many more. I've gone through heart awakenings, which was like the heartbreak dark night of the soul. I've gone through spiritual dark nights of the soul. And every time it happens, it feels like we go through an ending to make way for a new beginning. So, for me personally, this last one, I said, oh Jesus, it's like for a way to describe it, if you've ever had beer fear, which is the psychological hangover after lots of alcohol, it's like that. There's just no way out. All your fears and worries are heightened. You're having anxiety attacks. You're having, complete crisis of what's going on. Who are you? What are you doing? What's it all for? Really turmoil energy. And, at the start of our spiritual journey, it makes sense, because we're coming out of the matrix. We're coming out of, that old energy. So, all of those fears and things, we're only starting to shed them. But when you're already through your spiritual journey a bit, and for me personally, the last 2 dark nights of the soul I've been in, the one I've been in the last couple of weeks and the one prior to that, I didn't know I was in them. And not knowing you're in them is shit, because, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it, because previously, my bigger dark nights of the souls, I knew I was in them. And there was something within me that was like, it's okay, you're going to get out of it, this is temporary, no matter how bad it was. And, I describe the dark night of the soul as a bipolar. It's bipolar energy. Like, one minute you're high as a kite and you're like really happy and everything's going well, and the next minute you're in deep despair and hopelessness, right? But when I knew I was in the dark nights of the soul before, I used to, I used to be able to kind of go, right, this is a part of the process. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Even though you're in that hopelessness, there's still hope. Whereas the last couple of dark nights of the soul I've been in, I didn't fucking know I was in them. I did not know. And it didn't even make sense to me that it's like you're completely disconnected from your soul. You know what I mean? Like, you're completely disconnected. Like, I've known on this journey that anything that happens to us actually happens for us. So all that trauma, all that pain, all these obstacles, they're lessons, they're for growth. But when you're in a dark night of the soul, you're in that victim mentality. Anyone who suffers from depression, it's very hard to get up in the morning. It's very hard to feel hope. So this is what it's like in the deep spiritual depression of dark night of the soul. There is no fucking hope. There is no light. There's no, you're in a fucking tunnel, but there's no light. There's no way of getting out of that tunnel. All you have is darkness. Your anxiety is heightened. Your fears are heightened. It's like fucking everything. Do you know what I mean? And this is so weird, because we're in the year of the horse now. We literally just ended the year of the wood snake, which was all about shedding. So the last year, especially 2025, and up until yesterday, everything was fucking shit. It's weird, because we were still transforming, but we were shedding at the same time. And that's the energy of the snake anyway. It's transformation. But we were shedding so much pain and so much turmoil. So the last couple of weeks of the year of the snake were fucking horrendous again. But it was a dark night of the soul energy. It's collective energy. We were all going through it. But it was deep, dark despair. And just prior to that, I could feel the energy of the wood snake. Or no, the horse coming in. I could feel the energy of now. today. Yay. I could feel the energy of momentum coming. I could see things happening. I could feel that abundance coming. Things were falling into place. And literally overnight, there was just darkness. There was light and then darkness. Because I didn't know I was going through a dark night of the soul, it was just hopelessness. Absolute hopelessness. Every time my friend texts me, he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay." And it was just like really, like everything I had planned, everything I was aspiring to, just felt like it was hopeless. It was like, what am I even doing? What's the point? I'm failing. I'm not even doing... I'm like, this is fucked up, because every day I was still progressing. Every day I still had the energy to do something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was still saying, I can't. I'm not moving forward. Everything is... It felt stagnancy. It feels like you're in this stagnant. You're in this fucking mud. And it's like you can't get out of this mud. And it is... The word for it is hopelessness and despair. That's the words that I was using for myself. And I didn't... Like, I was literally... in this fucked up energy going, what the fuck, you know, a couple of weeks ago everything was in line and now everything's gone to shit, you know, I have this to worry about, I have that to worry about, and I was like, oh my god, like, you know, am I relapsing? This is the energy I was in. I was like, what the fuck, am I relapsing? Is this a setback? Is everything I've done the last fucking god knows how long just not working anymore? Have I started again? Oh, like this, the anxiety, the energy of that anxiety coming back, you know. And I went through a major relapse in 2023. And I was doing some massive healing, and I was getting anxiety attacks and panic attacks and all that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of energy I was feeling over the last few weeks. And I was like, have I gone backwards? What the fuck is going on? I feel like shit. What's happening? And it's I was reading a book, right? I get guided to read these books, and every time I'm reading a book, no matter how random the book is, in that moment I need it. So I was nearing at the end of this book, and she had a section on Dark Night of the Soul, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in a fucking dark night of the soul. It was just like, it's just an aha moment. It was like, duh, I'm in a dark night of the soul. That's what's wrong. And the minute I realised it was a dark night of the soul, I completely snapped out of it. I went from literally going, woe me, I'm a victim, everything's going wrong, my whole life is falling apart, to going, shit, everything's grand, everything's going to be fine, we're all good. And then it just started to make sense. It all clicked into place that this was happening on the last 2 weeks of the year of the wood snake. And I was like, this is happening for a reason. Like, on and off throughout the last year, we have been literally shedding, transforming. So like, you know, no matter how much pain we went through in 2025, we went through massive success and massive transformation. And literally the last 2 weeks of the fucking wood snake, and we went through all of the shit all over again, but worse, because it was a dark night of the soul. And like, you know, I've gone through a few dark nights of the soul since my journey started. But as I said, this one and the last one I went through, I just didn't know. But the minute I fucking read it somewhere or somebody said it on a video, I'm like, duh, this is what's wrong with me. You know what I mean? And it's so weird, because like literally, you're so disconnected from everything when you're in a dark night of the soul. You're disconnected from yourself, you're disconnected from divine, you're disconnected from your environment, your people. Like, you want to cocoon, and like, I usually like heal by being on my own. But like the dark night of the soul makes you even more isolated. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't want to be burdening my friends, and I was just like, just keep it to yourself, don't say anything. And I was just like more and more isolated, and I felt more and more shit like. And it was only when I spoke to my friends about it as well, I just started to lift. But the minute I knew it was dark night of the soul, I was like, there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Like, I literally, like, whatever bubble we're in, when we're in this existential crisis energy, when we're in this deep spiritual depression, it is like there's darkness, and only fucking darkness. No wonder it's called Dark Night of the fucking Soul, because there is no fucking light. It's like it feels like nothing is moving forward. It feels like you're sludging through this mud and you just can't get anywhere. It feels like everything you were working towards is just gone out the window. It feels like all the healing you've done is just gone, and you feel weak again. You feel like you're useless, you're hopeless, you feel like you haven't gotten anywhere. And it's weird because, the week before I went through this dark night, so this time, I was back in my high energy, my abundance energy. I was seeing the magic that was coming into this new year. And looking back over the last couple of years, I was like, Jesus, I've come so far. You know what I mean? I've done so much. Everything's really good. Everything is really building momentum now. And then overnight, it's like you forget. It's like you forget yesterday. And you forget that everything was golden and shiny and everything yesterday. And you're literally back to 2023 or a couple of years ago when everything was gone to shit. And you're in this energy of, where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? What the fuck is going on here? I have no future. I have no nothing. I am hopeless. What's it all for? It's really, like, that's the existential crisis part of it. You just forget everything. You're in this deep fucking darkness that all you can think about is failure, hopelessness, despair, fear, worry, anxiety. You know, all of that shit's coming back up, and I could feel that the anxiety energy, the anxiety attack energy come back into my mind. But I was strong enough through it to kind of go, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back into that energy. But yet, every day I was waking up more hopeless than the day before. More despaired but than the day before. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you know, and I know it's all about mindset. Do you know what I mean? When we think positive, we can actually create positivity. So when we're in a high abundance mindset, like, everything is just turning to gold. Everything you touch turns to gold. And you just start to see the opportunities unfolding. You start to visualize your future. Everything just is beautiful. But when you're in the dark night of the soul, it's like, what the fuck is a positive mindset? You just don't even know how to fucking get there. You know what I mean? And you're literally, like, for me, it's like literally I have to talk myself out of the fear-based energy that was coming into my mind. You know, a fear-based thought was coming up. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to put it back. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. And you have to, like, literally try and brainwash yourself into believing that everything's going to be okay. But when you're in that despair energy, it's like nothing works. Absolutely nothing works. It's like, as I said, the psychological hangover from alcohol. You literally are like, everything's the end of the world. The whole world is ending. Like, and there's no way out of it, only through it. And that's the thing. But the minute I realized, it was like a flip of a switch. The minute I realized I was in a dark night of the soul, I was like, oh my God. Oh, this is grand. I'm fine. I'm fucking fine. Do you know? And that's the weirdest part. Like, when I know I'm in a dark night of the soul, the despair is still there, but I see the light. Whereas if I don't know I'm in it, the fucking light is gone. There's no such thing as a fucking light. There's no fucking brightness at all. And, like, literally it was a flip of a switch for me. And as I said, I connected it then to the end of the year of the snake. So literally we're just shedding that last bit of energy. And, you know, like, today now we're back, we're into the year of the horse. That's the momentum, that's forward movement. But, like, literally, I went from nothingness to realizing, hey, this is just a part of the process. We're not relapsing. We're not having a setback. We're not going backwards. We're not going back to the old energy. This was literally the universe getting us to get rid of all that shit that was still keeping us stuck. Because there was a lot of it. Like, the stuff that we fear during Dark Night of the Soul, it's not just random. It's stuff that's still within us. So anything we have to purge or anything we have to release, it's stuff that's still already, it's in there. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, even though I was in a high vibe energy and I was in that abundance mindset, there was obviously still some self-limiting beliefs, some unworthiness wounds, some fear-based energy that was keeping me stuck on the old boat. Like, I've shown you this analogy before. We've got two boats. Your old boat is your comfort zone, your past life, your self-limiting beliefs, your fears, your worries. The new boat is your abundance, your manifestations, your future life, your highest version of self. And you've got one foot on the old boat, one foot on the new boat. And you're literally like this. When you're in a dark night, it's like this. It's just like fucking, oh, you're being so fucking stretched. Do you know what I mean? And, like, literally, you're literally having to get your foot off that old boat and say goodbye to that old energy. Because we cannot open up to new energy, or we cannot welcome in abundance if there's still that residue, if there's still those blocks. And that's the thing, like, you know, we can try and manifest all we want, but if there's no room for manifestation, how are we going to let it in? Like, I've said this before, if your wardrobe is full and you want to buy new clothes, where are you going to put the fucking new clothes? You have to get rid of the old stuff. You have to empty out the old in order to make space for the new. And this is the same for us. We have to get rid of those self-limiting beliefs, anything that's keeping us stuck in the past. And this is another energy that I had the last couple of weeks, is again the energy of walking away and cutting cords from people that no longer serve us. Now, I already had my cords cut. I'd walked away from friends and family, but the energy around me walking away from family resurfaced again. And it was fucking loud. It was like I had to do it all over again. So the pain of that was actually connected to the dark night of the soul for me as well. Because everything I was feeling, everything I went through between 2023 and now was all, like, all the fucking pain. Actually, 2021 and now. Since 2018, all of it came back up. All of it came back up over the last couple of weeks. And this happened again, actually, just before Christmas as well. Do you know what I mean? So we're after having a lot of these rounds of healing, these really intense purges, these really intense dark night of the soul. We've had numerous ones throughout the year of the snake. And they have been fucked up. Oh my God, fucked up. Like, you'll know if you've gone through it. They were fucked up. This one, thankfully, wasn't as bad as the one before Christmas and before New Year's. But it was still bad. It was still really that energy of, there's no hope. Everything's gone to shit. My healing has gone out the window. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. We're stuck. But we're not stuck, guys. We're literally on the verge. Well, actually, the 3 days ago, we were on the verge. But right now, it's transitioning. It's changing. And I remember, like, even feeling last week that, like, we're coming into the year of the horse, and now I'm at relapsing, and I can't do anything. Nothing's going to come in for me. Oh my God, everything's, oh no. I was in that mode energy. Jesus, I hate being in that energy. I hate being in a victim mentality energy. Fucking hate it. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm in it, and when I'm in a dark night of the soul, I'm just like, everything's so sad, and everything, like, everything's going wrong, and I'm just, oh my God, I'm so depressed, and I'm so sad. And I'm not trying to take the piss here or be funny here. That's the energy I'm in. I'm like, everything's going wrong, and like nothing is going right, and nothing is ever going to go right again, and everything I ever did was gone, and I've no healing anymore, and it's just like I'm stuck. And like, I literally snapped out of it, and I was like, dark night of the soul, it's just that's all it was. It was just a fucking purge. It was a temporary energy. It was literally me releasing the last of what I needed to release. And that's what you're doing as well. You're just letting go of the past. You're releasing all those fears, and you're making room for this year, which is the year of the horse, the year of momentum, the year of abundance. And, ever since, I think Friday was when I read the end of that book, and I read about the dark night of the soul, and I was like, yes, I'm out of it now. I flipped the switch. I'm out of it. And I still had a couple of sluggish days, we'll call them. But since yesterday and today now, I'm just really in the energy of hope, excitement, everything's back. And it's just so funny how it happens. It's like an overnight thing. You go from happy to fucked up to literally happy again. So trust the energy that you're coming into. This is not a relapse, as I said. It's not a setback. You're not going backwards. You're not going back into that old energy. You're literally letting go of what no longer serves you to make room for all the abundance that's coming in. So trust in this energy and trust the process. You're on the verge of greatness. This is just a dark night of the soul. It's not at the end of the world. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is reason for this. You're just letting go of all the things that are keeping you stuck. So that's self-limiting beliefs. That's fear-based energies. That's that imposter syndrome. That's the fear of not being good enough, that unworthiness wound. This letting go of people and family members, friends, work situations, whatever it is, relationships that no longer serve you. You're literally cutting the cords on the past, and you're choosing yourself. And that's the most important thing here. Whatever was keeping you stuck, whatever was draining your energy, that's releasing. And that dark night of the soul was there to show you what you needed to release. And once you release that, you'll come back into this abundant energy, and things will start flowing again. So just trust the process. It is all working out for your highest good. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. Love nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. And I'm hosting an inner child healing workshop. It will be a 90-minute workshop on Wednesday, the 4th of March at 6 p.m. Irish UK time. We will be just anything to do with fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, unworthiness wound, despair. I'll be doing an inner child hypnosis as well. We'll be doing loads of exercise together and a little bit of learning on that. So if you want information about that, please comment below.